Hey, Julie.
Hey, Julie.
Welcome to Hey, Julie, a podcast about Big Brother and stuff. My name is Brett.
I'm Danielle.
And oh my gosh, Danielle, how are you feeling?
Well, I texted Brett to be completely transparent with all of you. I texted Brett before this.
Transparent on this podcast.
Exactly. And I told him what I'm going to tell you, which is I'm very depressed. Mostly because of Big Brother.
I know. So,
and we will get into it.
We're all a little depressed these days. It is tough going in 2020. We thought BB22 would be the respite, would be the Statue of Liberty welcoming us in, and it's unfortunately the Statue of Liberty welcoming us in like an evil sort of bad way.
It's the Statue of Liberty from Planet of the Apes. It's buried in sand, and we're thinking to ourselves, this is Earth? We don't like this.
Oh, damn you, dirty apes. Anyways, thought BB22 was going to be fun, but honestly, it's just mirroring every recent season of Big Brother. Why do we even watch this damn show anymore? Like, every season has been exactly like this.
It's such a good question because we started doing this, I think, for BB18.
Yeah.
And it's just been disappointment after disappointment. And other than BB22. And
yeah, sure.
It's like, who's to blame for this? Is it Derek? Is it Paul? Is it Tyler this season? Like, why is this happening?
Okay, so here's what's going on. If you're watching Big Brother for the first time, every fucking season for a while now, a majority-ish alliance. Here's the thing, it's not even a majority of the people in the damn house. A majority-ish alliance, a number of people approaching the majority of the house, approaching maybe 50% of the house, usually a bunch of white people. All sorry.
They are white.
Usually a bunch of white people all come together and they form an alliance and they start picking off people, and instead of the people outside of the group all realizing this and banding together and forming a formidable counter alliance of equal or similar-ish number, they all just cling on to this major alliance and they just go try, like, oh, maybe they'll let me in the big group, and if I tell them enough secrets they'll let me. They're not. So
yeah,
Nicole Anthony, kaput, goodbye, so long, farewell.
What a flop. I mean, we have to back up. So we're going to get into spoilers. We're going to get into everything. But do we even need to talk about Wednesday's episode? Wednesday was the veto. Go ahead.
Actually, I have many notes from Wednesday.
Okay, fine. I just thought Thursday had a lot of juice. So I'm happy if you want to talk about.
I will narrow it down. I take notes on the Wednesday night episodes, even though we never talk about them.
Because can we talk about like old news? But go ahead.
Speaking of old news, can we talk about your boy Memphis?
Please, can we?
First of all, Tyler takes a direct shot at you and I and says that Memphis played BB10 in the year 1943, which I find to be towards olds like us. And so Memphis wins the veto, and his group, Christmas, Tyler, Nicole Franzel, they're like, so we're back to our Janelle, or we should go after Janelle, right? And Memphis is like playing dumb in like the worst possible way. Well, I wouldn't really know what to do. In a perfect world, I guess we could go after her, but I don't know the mechanisms in which to enact that. It's like, bro, you're the HOH and the veto holder. Why don't we backdoor her? And he's like, he says, what's the move? I don't think there is one. It's like, and then they're like, oh, it's backdoor, and he's like, oh yeah. No, I just don't really feel comfortable shooting my shot right now. And everyone is legit sketched out at him. And it's just hilarious. It's like, it's so bad. It's really sort of putting a nail in his coffin for like 3 or 4 weeks from now, or towards the end, where it's like, they know that he's not like they'll keep him around for a little bit, but they know from that he's not fully with them. And just bellissima gameplay from our old man Memphis here.
But you know what? Thank God for that.
I know, right?
Thank God for someone, because that's what we're complaining about. What we're complaining about is like no one's willing to go against the grain. Everyone just says what the house wants. Memphis came in and said, no, I'm doing what I want. I don't have a problem with Janelle Kaysar, so I'm not backdooring them. Fuck you guys. I don't care. And thank God. Someone with a mind of his own.
Kevin in the chat says Memphis is 70s trash. Oh my gosh.
Memphis wishes. 70s had a lot of sexy icons. He wishes Memphis thinks he's Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but Memphis is really
shirt, smoking a cig on the roof, cracking a beer, thinking about the time you killed your wife. Oh yeah, that's Memphis for sure.
But you know who Memphis is? Quentin Tarantino, after a long day of directing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Have you seen those?
He's sweaty, he's tired, and he's just looking at feet in the dailies.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen those pictures of Quentin Tarantino? Like, is he like walking through like an antique shop or something like that? And he just has like this most just depressed, like vacant look in his eyes. And he just looks like he looks like an old woman, which
I haven't. But do you remember, this is going off on a real tangent, but do you remember the viral email that girl wrote about how she went home with Quentin Tarantino after a party? She went home with him after a party, and she wrote an email about how, like, it was totally, she thought it was hilarious. She was like, she wrote this email to her girlfriends, like, listen up, bitches. I went home with Quentin Tarantino last night. Here's all the freaky shit he wanted to do. And she just like, it totally started. She was like, he wanted to lick my feet, and that's it, sis. So we did it. Like, she just goes into detail about it. It went viral like years ago. It was very funny. It was very well written.
Well, this is the sort of just breaking news. This is the sort of in-depth Big Brother content from Hey Julie.
This was in like 2005.
You all know Quentin Tarantino likes to lick feet. If you didn't, welcome to the club. Welcome to 1997.
Yeah, where last time Memphis was relevant, by the way. No, but I know that like people are hating on Memphis. I'm still loving him as a villain, and I think he's got a lot of fight left to give. And listen, mark my words, if it's him against the big group, you're going to be rooting for him too.
Yeah, I mean, you know what he is? He's like when you're watching like an action movie or whatever, and he's not the main villain, but there's like a main henchman who's like the second in command, who's like really mean to the hero or whatever, and you like know this person's gonna die in an over the top sort of way. Yes. Like that's him. And like when he dies, you're just like, yes. Like yes. I'm thinking of The Rock, the guy with the crazy, like the kind of guy who's not Ed Harris, obviously, but the guy with the crazy eyes in The Rock who gets the little ball in his mouth and they get punched him and he's like, ah, like, and when he dies, you're like, hell yeah. And I think he got shot out of a fucking thing with a rocket too. Like, you know, he's one of those movies. Like he's the big brute who's not like the main villain.
And he's rude and annoying, and the whole movie you're like, oh, when's this guy gonna get his comeuppance? Because at least the main villain has like a sophisticated view of the terror he's inflicting, but this guy's just in it for the kicks. Like,
yeah, no, exactly. It's like, actually, Nicolas Cage, I'm doing this to free humanity. Not to destroy it.
That's Tyler. Tyler's that villain. Whereas Memphis is one who's like, duh, boss, what should I do with this lady over here? Like,
he looks like a young
yeah, let me dangle her from a cliff.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, guys, don't we love Big Brother? We love it over here.
This is such a Big Brother podcast. I also wanted to compliment All Starry Night, the competition. I thought that was a good competition. Like everyone's been saying for fucking 20 years, bring back the pressure cooker. Like I think this was a pressure cooker-esque competition. Anyone could have really won it if they were paying attention.
Wait,
like the one where they had to balance the ball on the little thingies.
No, I have a big problem with this. How dare you?
Oh,
I have a huge problem with this competition. because, and I don't know if you, pardon?
I thought because it was in the middle of the night.
No, the competition itself, because it was so obviously biased towards men with stronger upper body strength. Sure. Like obviously 90-pound Nicole A and 92-pound Nicole F are not going to be able to, because the guys are like, oh my God, this hurts my biceps so much. If it hurts their biceps, there's no way those girls are going to be able to do it anywhere near as long as them. And I was reading that, like, on Survivor, a show you and I also covered, remember that? On Survivor, for stuff like that, they take into account the different weights of the different contestants, so they change it so that it's fair and equal for everyone.
Oh, damn.
But they didn't do that for Big Brother, and that's not fair. I'm sorry, but that is not fair.
I stand corrected. That was my gendered bias coming out. I apologize. I
liked the comp. Like, I agree. I think the idea of it is really cool. And I loved the setup. I thought it was so fun. I wanted to go to, like, it was all lit up. And, you know, I haven't left my house in 6 months. So I was like, ooh, a rave. But I just thought that was really unfair. Like,
Danielle Gibson, noted fan of raves. Yeah, really wanted to go to a rave.
So
yeah, blown up in the chat. Everyone's telling me I'm wrong. Okay, fine.
Wow, I love that. I love that.
Hashtag Brett was wrong.
but I liked the look of it. It was cool. Okay, what else did you like about Wednesday?
Nothing. Well, I liked that Dirk Space Jammer sounded like a riff of Dirk Diggler.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we talk a lot about the UCB man, Krista Joseph. Who plays all the characters. We don't really give enough props for the, like, non-union sketch writer who's writing these scripts for Big Brother.
And the guy who does all the voiceover for all the competitions like that, who probably isn't even the person who's like doing that voiceover live with Ian.
Right. Yeah, like, what about them? They deserve their props. Who are they? Show yourselves on Twitter. Show yourselves, you cowards.
Yes, coward. Okay. Thursday. Are we ready to move to Thursday?
Yeah, we can move to Thursday. Thursday's got a lot of gems.
Including, first of all, you watched this live, I imagine, East Coast time. Yeah. I turned on my CBS. I went to my television. I put it on CBS at 8 p.m. Pacific time. And what did I see? But sleepy Joe Biden talking to me about how we can change the damn country. And people in a parking lot honking at him in his car. I had to watch 25 minutes of the next president talking.
Good Lord.
I had to watch the stupid Democratic convention.
Obviously,
what a loss for me. What a rough night for me.
Of course, we support Sleepy Joe, and if I could vote in America for him, I would. Obviously, we wanted Bernie to win. It's a whole different story, but this is a pro-Democratic ticket podcast. However, I did not watch 1 second of the DNC. Thank God. I do not want to watch any of that shit.
If you lived in the West Coast and you wanted to watch Big Brother when it aired, too late. Big Brother started 25 minutes late, and I just had to sit there. And because also, like, it wasn't lining up exactly. So the DVR thing was going to record like a bunch of the convention. So I was like, I just had to watch this live, and I just had to watch like these dumb political hosts being like, wow, this is Kamala's moment. She's standing there with her. Can you believe we're gonna have a first man named Doug?
Dougie Fresh.
That's rough.
Yeah. Look, whatever. I wish I was gonna say I wish them well. No, I hope that all gets taken care of. But
anyways.
Selfishly, I don't know. So is that why the shows have been on at 8? Because I'm loving them on at 8 p.m. I don't even miss that it's live. I don't even care because I love it.
Beauty sleep. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyways, that was a fake out. Julie starts. Tears shed. Lines flubbed. It's Julie Chen. Just rough performance from Julie tonight.
We need to perform a wellness check on Julie. because
I'm not gonna send some cops to knock on her door. Maybe not cops.
Julie has become much like the new cinematic feature in theaters starring Russell Crowe. She has become unhinged.
Oh, damn.
She is unhinged. She's got some issues she's working through. I don't know what's going on with her. And I'll start with the outfit. This shirt.
Did she get dressed 5 minutes before the show?
This cherry red shirt. No, I'll even say tomato. It was a tomato red shirt with balloon sleeves. Was loose, so ill-fitting up top. And then a black slack underneath. It was truly very, I mean, I said last week for the eviction, her dress was disrespectful. This was like, obviously, this was a slight against Nicole A. Julie knew Nicole was going home and was like, I'm not getting dressed up for that. Like, Julie wanted to wear her bathrobe for that eviction. She didn't care. She was like, wake me up when it's over.
Yeah, I mean,
this outfit was enough.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna spare you I'm not even gonna spare you like the suspense here. Like, it was a knot. She looked like
such an obvious knot.
It was like she was Julie was reverted back to her teenage years, and her mom was like, Julie, the bus is going to be here in 2 minutes. And she's like, Mom, what? And then she had to like rush and put on 2 fucking like wrinkly old things that were just sitting there. Like, black and red match fine, but it was just like,
it was so uninspired.
There's no thought put into it at all. Like,
that's what she wore to drop her kids off at the mall, you know? And then she was like, well, I guess I'll swing by the studio to do the live eviction. Come on.
While we're on outfits, Michael Tyas in the chat says Nicole A looked stunning.
So I also thought she looked very pretty eviction night, actually. I was so happy she got voted out, but I was like, oh, she really is very cute.
She is.
Oh, well, that's one thing I actually do want to call out about in general, because you all know I watch the feeds. I'm a little feed maniac. The percentage that everyone looks better in HD, no less, is quite high. They all look so much better on the live show, the edited show, even though it's much clearer. So you should be able to see like every pore and wrinkle. They all look way fresher and more attractive on the live shows.
Maybe you need to be much hotter to be on Big Brother than you and I would have thought.
God, I can't even imagine. We already thought you had to be, LA 10s.
Yeah. So you heard it here. Nicole A. Nicole A is an LA 11.
Yeah. No, she is. She can hold her own.
So Julie kind of is, despite flubbing her lines, she's kind of spitting fire at the top of this episode. She says, neither of the nominees are aware of the alliances in the house, so the key to survival is avoid becoming your own worst enemy. That's rough. Ooh. That's like...
Julie was watching the feed. Julie knew what was going on this week.
Had a lot of free time, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've said this on the show, but I was wondering, I was like, does Julie even watch Big Brother?
I think she does some weeks, and some weeks she just has her intern like give her the notes.
Yeah. She just goes to hamsterwatch.com.
But I think she has in this season specifically, I think she has her favorites. Like, I think she was genuinely sad to lose Keisha. I don't think she cares for Nicole A, but really likes Janelle and Kaysar. So I think she was pissed that Nicole A played so poorly and turned her back and made Janelle cry. Janelle, queen of BB, crying those ice woman tears.
Oh yeah, that was. I mean, even Kaysar said, "I've never seen you cry before."
Yeah. So Julie really was the all-star of this episode. Let's just call it out. Like, I need to shed a little light on this one line. So they're all sitting around waiting for Julie to like tell them to start voting. And Julie pipes in and she's like, hi, everybody. First of all, I just want to say, Danny, happy birthday. And Danielle is like, Thank you so much. And then Julie says, and I want you to know, you looked very beautiful last week, like the actress Busy Phillips.
Didn't you say too, like the very pretty actress Busy Phillips?
Yeah, it was like so weird.
What? Is she on fucking peyote or something like that?
If I was Danielle, and I am a form of Danielle, I would be
You
so
are
upset. I am a Danny.
I meant to ask you about this. I meant to actually start the podcast like that, but I completely forgot because it was like fucking 5 days ago.
It was absolutely wild.
What's going on?
It was like that's like an inside joke, I guess you'd say, but it was not an inside joke. Danielle was confused.
Yeah, would you be offended if you heard that as a woman?
No, well, yes, in a way. First of all, none of this is to be a slam on Busy Phillips. She is very beautiful, but like the more the way Julie was like, you looked very beautiful last week, like the very pretty actress Busy Phillips. It was just two very incongruous things. They did not work in harmony. I would leave that. That's like a backhanded compliment. It's like Julie read, what's that? The Pickup Artist book.
And was negging. She was negging. Yeah,
she was like, I'm gonna neg Danny tonight for kicks.
And maybe another part of the Pickup Artist stuff is peacocking. So maybe the red blouse was a peacocking sort of thing. That's why you see guys at the club wearing like crazy hats and like steampunk goggles, and you're like, oh, and it's like all just to bring attention, peacocking.
Yeah.
Busy Phillips is such a weird fucking pull, and Busy Phillips is pretty, but in a completely different way than Danielle.
They don't look alike at all. I was just so off, and it was just such a weird thing to say on like, I know it wasn't live, but usually it's a live show. So it's like, is this what we're spending time on? That's like something I'd say to a girl I met at a party, and I'm just trying to kill time and trying to say something so that it's not awkward. Like, oh, so how do you know the host? What do you do for work?
Hey, that's a pretty bag.
Yeah, that's a pretty bag. Has anyone ever told you look like the actress Busy Phillips?
You should start doing that at parties once the world opens up again. You should just say, has anyone told you look like the very pretty actress Busy Phillips?
It's like, and I do love that she prefaced it. I have to go back if she actually did this. If she prefaced it by like, the very pretty actress, that's like, because sometimes when someone tells you you look like a celebrity, depending on how you view that celebrity, it's either a compliment or an insult, right?
Exactly.
So she prefaced it by saying, no, I find her very pretty. So it was just like bizarre on so many levels.
It's like, hey, Brett, just want to say you look like Steve Buscemi tonight.
But if I told you last week, you looked like the very handsome Steve Buscemi,
I'd be like, all right. So Danielle gave me a compliment, but also it seems like her view of hot versus not hot is like out of whack. So she gave me a compliment, but like it partially is more of a self-own in that she thinks Steve Buscemi is hot.
Right. And we are not saying that we think that Busy Phillips isn't pretty. She's very pretty. But that's how it was just how it was said. It was so weird.
It almost was like CBS was like, hey, first of all, Busy Phillips doesn't even act in shit. Like she's like selling makeup on the fucking like TV. She has like doesn't she host a talk show? Like she's got into full Kelly Clarkson territory where it's like, Kelly Clarkson's like, I'm not fucking singing anymore. Just give me a talk show. Like it almost seemed like CBS was focus testing. Like, let's just drop a Busy Phillips ref in there. And if like the BB22 hashtag gets lit, then maybe we should add her in on the talk or the chew or whatever the hell the
celebrity.
Oh my god!
Where was it?
Busy Phillips was in. Busy Phillips would be the opposite. She would come in if there was a fresh season of BB All Star Celebs, and Busy Phillips came in, she would be like Janelle because she would be the most famous person there. But it would be the opposite. It would be like what should have happened this year, which is everyone coming in and being like, "We bow down to you, Janelle. We bow down to you, Busy Phillips."
As they should have done. Okay, here's a last little conspiracy moment about Busy Phillips, and then we have to move on. I know everyone's like,
we have many comments in the chat about Busy Phillips that I do have to get through when you're done.
My last thought was why the hell did Julie say this? Was this a warning shot to Busy Phillips? Was Les Moonves was he like, you know what? That Busy Phillips is getting too close to my secrets. She's acting out. Let's fire a warning shot by bringing up her name on live TV and let her know that we're watching her ass.
Julie Chen, this is maybe why she was running late and why she picked out a horrible outfit. She goes, she knocks on Les's door for his office. Like, all right, honey, the limo's picking me up to take me down to the studio. Opens it up, and he's looking at pictures of Busy Phillips, but immediately slams shut the laptop.
That's even better.
What are you looking at? Oh, nothing. I was just wrapping up work. Right as you right as you walked in. I happened to have been closing my laptop right then.
Yes, that is it. That is it.
All right,
what's the chat say?
We got so much. We got lots of Busy Phillips content here. This is the Busy Phillips episode, of course. Julie is obsessed with the Busy Phillips thing. Michael says, if they don't even know who Busy Phillips is, they can't even Google her. Chris says, I was like, who the fuck is Busy Phillips? I thought it was an old-timey actress.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I love that at one point, Brett, you almost called her Billy Phizzips.
That's my nickname, Busy Billy Phizzips. That's an old-timey actor.
Yeah.
He was selling Coca-Cola back in 1932 when it was full of real cocaine.
Busy. Pour one out for Busy. Good for her. She tweeted about it too, though. Okay, I know we have to move on from Busy Phillips, but she did tweet this was weird. The fact that Julie did this.
Oh gosh. All right. So we'll come back to Busy Phillips for the remainder of time, but I guess there was another episode. There was a full episode to talk about.
Yes. So let's just get down to it. The Busy Phillips thing happens, and then we get the vote. And I honestly gasped when Janelle voted to evict Nicole, but I was gasping in a happy way.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a surprising vote because you didn't know if they were going to just be like, you know what, we don't have the votes. We're just going to go with the House. But then Enzo throws in a hinky vote, I guess, as well. But
it didn't really end up doing anything. Usually the hinky votes can cause a little chaos, a little paranoia. No one really cared.
Yeah, no one cares because Tyler's the HOH and everyone's safe. Who cares? Exactly.
So anyway, Nicole gets voted out. She has a kind of weird speech where she's like, play for your, this was good. It was play your own game. And it's okay, too little too late, sis. Why don't you follow your own advice? These alliances are set in stone now where it's this is what it is, guys. Strap in because we're just going to watch that huge group slowly pick off the outsiders and then cannibalize themselves. It's the same as every past season. But she also calls out Memphis and is like, ooh, good job, Memphis. Big, strong Memphis going after little old me. And I was just sort of whatevs.
Yeah, you had tweeted out that Nicole A was acting like a brat this week, and I kind of saw, especially with some of the stuff we saw in that episode too, where she was just convinced Janelle and Kaysar were out for her, and she, they would be like, "Oh, we're really trying to get the votes," and she's like, "Oh, who cares? You wouldn't care or whatever," and she kind of was I like the shot at Memphis because people should be taking shots at Memphis.
Yeah,
he's a big dumb idiot wearing a fucking cowboy vest and no shirt. You're an adult. You have kids, man. You can't wear a fucking vest with no shirt on underneath. Grow up.
I don't know.
But I liked it. It kind of was a little bit petulant, but
she in every single thing, she seemed like a 13-year-old teenager, and Janelle and Kaysar are her parents, and they're like it really was, because as bratty as she was, they were like, well, we still love you and we're still going to support you. You know, like they were so nice about it. But so anyway, she gets voted out, thank God. And Julie, again, brings the unhinged energy to the interview. Guys, there's no pre-jury battle back. That of this we are now sure. Because she
Keisha said online.
Well, she literally showed Nicole the alliance and was like, you see that, bitch? You're not part of it. Like,
yeah.
So she shows her that alliance, and she's like, and you know what else? Who do you think had your back in the house? Because guess what? It was Janelle and Kaysar, and you fucked them over. Like, she went in.
I mean, Nicole sits down. First thing out of Julie's mouth, I'm confused by your gameplay.
Oh, it was painful. Julie raked her ass.
Julie saw her husband's iPad. She saw incoming text from B. Phillips. And she's like, she goes into fucking psycho mode. Sicko mode. That's a reference for you kids out there. From the rap music.
I mean, you know who? Yeah, Nicole did not remind her of the very pretty actress Izzy Phillips. She reminded her of a very angry person named Julie Chen. Julie was just like ripping her gameplay in a subtle way, where she was like, it's like that thing that people like sometimes do to you. You know that really fucking stupid thing you did? Why'd you do that? How'd it feel to do something really stupid?
You know what, Danielle? You remind me of that ugly fucking actress. She was so mean to Linda Cardellini on Freaks and Geeks. You really remind me of that fucking asshole.
It was so good. Because you know what? She had it coming. I really don't want Nicole A to have like depression or anxiety once she's out of the house.
She does. Well, first of all, we all do. Second of all, she does. She talks about it.
I know. And like, I don't want this to further cement that. Like, I really hope she can get some space from Big Brother, because it's clearly been toxic for her. Like, she had so much baggage from it.
Oh, wait. Her job, per her lower third, is fucking podcast host about Big Brother.
About Big Brother. I know, but she really needs some space, because like, she is truly, I say this all the time, she's a sweet person. You can tell she's a good person. But this game was just not for her, specifically this season. So like, good riddance. Let her go find peace. We wish you well.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Can we talk a little bit about our boy David?
Yes, I didn't want to pass over
All-star David Alexander.
Yes, I didn't want to. We had a very important Julie stuff to talk about. But I'm glad we're going back to this, because this is also like insanity. So please take it away.
Okay, so Davon, so Nicole A is rightfully trying to pitch to Davon why she should stay or whatever. Davon's like, sorry, kind of goes against my philosophy in this game, whatever.
Yeah.
Day goes to David and is like, you know, kind of give me your pitch. Hey, like, I'm gonna vote to keep you to stay, but like, I want to, you know, connect with you. I want to share some, you know, info.
Yeah, and I want to make sure you're not going after me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and David's like, well, I'm in an alliance that doesn't include you. And she's like, so you gonna tell me who's in that? And he's like, I'm covering my bases. And he's just being super fucking shady to
a vote. And like,
someone who's like, I want to vote for you, I want to keep you, and I want to work with you.
I want to work with you. And he's like, I'm good. Like, if I'm Davon, and I respect, because she's saying, I'm not going to vote against David, and I'm not going to vote against Bailey. Like, she's not going to vote against a fellow Black person in the game. And I respect it. I'm like, you know
Absolutely.
what? Fair. Yeah, totally.
Because you know how many times, and if people are like upset about that, I think there's an argument to Davon to realize that David isn't the best for her game. But
totally.
if you're upset and you're like, well, that's reverse racism or whatever at Davon, how many times have you heard on this show, well, I'm not going to vote against the guy because I want to make sure that there's guys in the house, or I'm not going to vote against the girl because I want to make sure there's girls in the house. It's the same sort of thing. And when we see someone doing that along gender lines, we don't have a problem with it. But if it's done along racial lines, we do have a problem. I don't know. Let people play however they want. I didn't have a problem with it. I don't know if I necessarily agreed with it in Davon's specific circumstance, because I didn't think David was really going to help her in this game, and we'll see how that plays out. But if she wants to do that, go for it. We have seen this before in the show.
Of course. And we're seeing it again in this season. Like, that's the thing. She brings up like the numbers of, I mean, have there ever even been 3 Black people in one season of Big Brother? Probably not.
I think one of Kevin's parents is Black as well.
Oh, so there you go, 4. But like, but
I'm not 100%
totally fair, because it's like maybe she's just outright saying it, but like if you think in past seasons, people being like, "Oh, I'm not going to vote against my boy, whoever, because he's my boy from Dallas." It's like, yeah, he's your white boy. Like, that's why you're not voting him out. Like,
you think Enzo and Cody are so close?
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm gonna put up. Let's just say David, because you know what? He scares me. I can't say why, but he's scary. So like, give me a break. She's allowed to do that. But absolutely. I totally agreed. The problem is just that like she got saddled, unfortunately, with like the worst Big Brother player. Who isn't even going to help her? Poor Day.
Oh, God. Exactly.
Poor Davon. Oh,
Michael in the cast says, is he even in an alliance, though? And it's like, he kind of had one, like, Tyler, as we saw in, like, I think the Wednesday episode, came over and talked to him in the storage room and was like, fuck Memphis, bro. It's like, he's the one. David is like the guy who, like, is like, in love with this one girl in his class or whatever, and she like walks by him and is like, cool shoes once, and he's like, yeah, so basically, the old ball and chain right there.
I think Tyler's go. Like, if Tyler brings him to final 2, then Tyler's gonna win over him.
Well, I mean, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think there are all sorts of like these secret goat things going on. Franzel and Ian is one as well, where like Franzel is sort of viewing Ian as a thing. It's like, oh, it's this little side thing I have on the side. I could probably beat you because I'll be in an alliance. If we're in the final 2, I'll have a bunch of alliance members and you won't. Also, like if we ever were to go up on the block against each other, people can't use the fact that I'm a winner against me because I'll have Ian, who's the only other winner in the house.
Right.
So there's definitely those situations.
One other David thing we must touch upon was his strategy in the veto competition.
Oh, of yelling, of shouting?
Yeah. He's like in the DR, he's like, I have a special like strategy for this veto. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, and then cut to him screaming at the ball and being bizarre. Even Davon was like, what the hell is he doing?
I mean, Davon's good for that every episode.
Fan. Yeah. No, Davon is amazing.
Can we talk about this head of household competition?
I think we have to. There's no avoiding it.
I was going absolutely fucking berserk during this competition because most people were so fucking bad at this. Like, it's a timed competition. We have David, who like 5 people go before David, and then David stands, and they all stand and face the one direction. You face the tables, and then you turn around and go. And David stands. He's like standing the wrong way. He doesn't understand. And this happened with David was just the first of people to like do this.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So you have to slide 3 glasses along a little table.
Yeah.
And it's timed. Once the glass leaves your hand, you are no longer in control of it. You don't need to stay at the damn table watching it and moving on. Yeah. nobody understood this. Ian was pretty good at it because he's probably the smartest person in the house. Like,
right.
You slide it and then run. And then Christmas and someone else too, like they grabbed the fucking glasses and then they went to each table setting up their glass first and then going back to the first table. It's a time competition. What the fuck is going on? How did people get worse at this competition as it went on? It absolutely just destroyed me.
The frustrating thing, and I think especially, and a lot of people were saying this online, is like, yes, it's timed, but it's also best number, period. So if I'm towards the end, and I know that Tyler's got 11, and he did it in 15 seconds. Okay, he did it in 15 seconds. So what? I have 30 seconds to get higher than that. So it really doesn't matter if if you're less than that, you're less than that. Who cares what the time is? But same as if you're more than that. So just take your time. Like, you don't have to rush. You could have just been like, all right, I'm going to try to get 28 seconds. But if I get 15, then perfect. So I'll just take my time, set it up, do it with confidence. Like, you could have done that.
Well, that's why I would have been HOH this week and nominated you. It's because I philosophically disagree with your strategy here. No. The chances of you doing that, there's only so many numbers you can get, right? It's not like one of those competitions where you have to hit a golf ball off a bungee thing or whatever, and there's 40 different numbers. Like, you can score between 0 and 15. There's not much. And if you do relatively well, you're going to be scoring around 10, 11, 12 area. Like, there's not much. There's not many options in terms of the number you can score. So you want to do it as fast as possible. Once the beer leaves your hands, you're no longer responsible for the beer. You don't have to observe it. You don't have to think about it.
No, but you also just don't have to you just don't. Sorry, I just had to kill a bug. You don't have to be harried and doing a shitty shot. That's what I'm saying. A lot of them are just
oh yeah, this is true.
Out of my hand. You could have set it up with taken. If Kaysar and Janelle, I'm going to call them out specifically. Janelle came so close.
My God. I love by random draw. Kaysar and Janelle are last.
Yeah, last. Yeah, right. I mean, sure. But if they had just been you know what? Tyler got 15 seconds and got 11. I'm going to take the full 30 seconds and get 15. Because at the end, you could just be I'm not going to freak. Let me get my stance ready and throw this thing and get 5 and do the same for the next and same for the next. They could have done that, but they were still trying to beat the time score as well.
My heart was in my throat. Ian, what do you think Ian would have done if he won? Because he was winning there for a while.
I think he would have put up Kaysar and Janelle.
Yeah, because Nicole Franzel would have been in his ear.
Yeah, and he's not trying to cause waves this early. I don't even think
spoilers, after that competition, he starts an alliance with Franzel, Danny, and Tyler, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called cheese puffs or something. I don't know. Something stupid. Something stupid. But so
it just sucked that all this buildup, and Kaysar was one of the worst people at this fucking competition. He was awful. I'm like, okay, so Janelle doesn't do I almost felt like this was scripted and this was going to be like a inspiring sports movie, some underdog movie. Kaysar was going to win, and I was like, oh nope, and Kaysar was the fucking worst at this.
And Janelle was so close.
Who cares? Whatever. BB22 is canceled.
What else could we have expected? Oh, I'll tell you what else, but we have to go into spoiler section.
Oh, can we I have one more question for you. Two more questions about the Thursday night broadcast.
Okay.
How do you feel about going live to the Las Vegas Strip with your girl, Ariel Vandenberg?
Wow. I mean, that was honestly, I felt for Ariel during that moment because she was like, fuck, I don't have a script. I just have to sort of wing this. That's what it felt like. She was like, here we are. It's not ready yet, but it's gonna be so fun. And like she had one of those, like, and like she knew she had a certain amount of time to fill and she didn't have quite enough script. So I really felt in that moment. Am I gonna watch Love Island this season? I don't know. We'll see. I'm pretty desperate.
Last question. It's more of a statement. It's more of a recommendation to you that if you have the choice of being right or being kind, always choose kindness.
Yeah. So again,
how do you feel about that?
Very confused. Who is happening? Who left Julie's team? Who was previously the person who was like, honey, let's not say that tonight. Let's not wear this tonight. You know, who left? Someone like started loving themselves and left Julie's team. And so now there's not that person, that safeguard to stop her from being unhinged. So who was it? Maybe Busy Phillips stole her personal assistant.
Danielle, I have the answer to all of life's questions.
Okay.
Busy Phillips. We thought Julie was coming after Busy Phillips because she was this is pro Busy Phillips. This is a pro Busy Phillips statement. What happened was she got into a fight with Les. And he was like, you know who I'm thinking of hiring for The Talk, or who I'm hiring for Tough as Nails season 2? But I'm not going to. That ugly ass actress, Billy Phillips. Busy Phillips. Billy Phillips. And Julie's like, what are you talking about? She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's got influence. And he's like, no, I'm right about this. Busy Phillips is an uggo. And what she said, and then she's like, you know what? I'm going to tell you what I think about you, Les, at the end of the show. And that was her thing to Les about Busy Phillips, who he thinks is if you have the choice about being right or being kind, choose kindness. Busy Phillips is a pretty actress.
But that's also such a weird choice. Isn't it the right choice to be kind?
I guess so.
I just have a lot of issues with it. It's like it came from Chicken Soup for the Soul, but she garbled it up. It went through like a Google Translate or something. Like something went wrong. Yeah, so that's the end of that episode. I mean, I have to say I am enjoying Unhinged Julie. She's giving me a lot of material to talk about.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We'll see. Yeah. If Busy
I feel like Julie woke up and was like, "Oh my god, I host this show. Let me suddenly, you know what? I'm gonna give it some spice."
Oh, one other thing too. So week 1 during the broadcast, she did her usual thing of like, we're coming in from commercial, we have a swooping crane shot over the stage, and she's staring ahead with a vacant smile. And it kind of works with it. Honestly, it never really worked, but it kind of worked with the audience, right? And they did it, and it really didn't work without an audience. So if you might have noticed, keen, eagle-eyed viewers like myself,
yes,
chat, you'll see me on the live show. On the live stream, you'll see me doing this. So she comes in from commercial, and she's like, she's just checking in on her cue card, and then it comes to her, and she just puts it down and looks straight ahead into the camera. It's like a very Bryant Gumbel or Greg Gumbel, whoever is real sports with one of the Gumbel brothers on HBO. He always does that thing when they're coming back from the thing. He's always like writing furiously in his notes, and then like looks up. Oh, man, he's such a good host. He's rewriting the copy right there because he's fucking 440.
It's gotta be perfect.
Super new move from Julie this week. Really impressed by it. We'll see how long it lasts.
Julie's just trying to prove she's the all-star of this whole debacle.
Sorry to bring it back to Busy Phillips, but you know who also hosts a talk show? Busy Phillips. This was fire at Busy Phillips. This was a shot at Busy Phillips being like, look at how I'm adapting. Look at how I was acting. I was acting as if it was the same chair. Look at this move. It's a new move in my arsenal. It's called the cue card maneuver. Bam, busy.
You know whose show didn't get canceled, Busy? Mine.
Yeah.
You know? I get to try out this new stuff.
Killed the Busy Phillips hour. Made the big B hour stronger.
Busy Phillips show got canceled a while ago. Anyway.
Did it get canceled before the Quar?
Oh yeah, it got canceled like last year. It got canceled a while ago. That very pretty actress, Busy Phillips.
Notice how she didn't say that very pretty television host.
Exactly. Shows you what Julie thinks of Busy Phillips' hosting style.
Go guest on Desperate Housewives 2.0. Play like the neighbor who's, a mean bee from 23. Leave the hosting for the pros.
I just wish, because like feeds were down because they had to film this live. I'm doing finger quotes show, so we didn't get to see Danny must have been so confused. I'm sad we missed that reaction. Anyway, so we got to get into spoilers. Spoiler zone.
Hey, spoilers. Goodbye.
So this is why I'm depressed. Tyler obviously nominated Janelle and Kaysar, and he won. And Cody won veto.
I thought Tyler won veto.
No, that was misreported.
Oh,
it was Cody.
Who did
Cody.
Busy Phillips report that or something? Inexperienced fucking TV host. Oh, yep. It's correct. It's Cody.
Cody won. So goodbye, Janelle. We'd love to see you. All I can hope for is she causes some drama before she leaves. That's what she really owes to us. But she's also a mom. She's over it. She doesn't care. She gets to go home. I mean, it's honestly probably best case scenario. Now she gets to go to her lake house in Minnesota for the rest of the summer. Good for her.
I honestly just rush through the vote, rush through all the pre-gaming and campaigning on Thursday. Fucking evict her in the A block and literally just do 3 segments of just Julie and Janelle.
Yes, exactly. Give us a 2020 with Janelle. Give the fans what they want, because I just don't make it is it going to be Kaysar or is it going to be Janelle? It seems like it's going to be Janelle, but maybe there's we don't need that whole rigmarole. Just get to it. We know what's going to happen. Everyone knows, even casual viewers know it. So please.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, I have some of my coworkers who I, will Slack or whatever about a Big Brother. A few of them have reached out and they're like, this is over. I'm like, yeah, it's over. Yeah. It's over. Because you know who's getting evicted next week? Kaysar. You know who's getting a week after? Bailey.
Memphis.
He's getting Avon. You know who's getting evicted the week after? David. Goodbye, all of them. Congratulations. I hope you like watching Tyler and Enzo fart around and talk about how cool they are and how much they can lift, bro. That's the rest.
Tyler talking about how much he loves making jewelry with Angela. Kill me. Yeah, I just want to say straight up, I tweeted this earlier. This is a Bailey Stan account from now on. This is a pro Bailey podcast. Now, once Janelle leaves, Bailey moves up to be my number 1 girl. She's been hilarious. I don't know. She's been on slop, so she must be in a bad mood. But I'm loving it. She told Nicole F. It just took you a couple tries and a couple guys to get that win. And Nicole Franzel cried. And then she told Tyler, she was like, your fans are really annoying. And she was right. I'm just I'm living for Bailey, being hungry and not giving a fuck. I'm loving it. So if anyone was wondering who I'm going to direct my love towards once Janelle and Kaysar leave, it's Bailey. So should we get into, so those are the spoilers. I mean, that's pretty much, Enzo won the safety company, used it on Christmas. Ugh.
Who cares?
This disgusts me. Ugh.
Yeah.
Christmas is like my pet peeve on the show. I know everyone knows this already because I always talk about how I despise watching her on feeds. But she really, like, for someone who should be really interesting, considering she, while pregnant, rammed her car into someone else's car. Like, she should be a lot more fun, but she's not. So I'm just, ugh.
If Christmas wins, which is in the realm of possibility, I don't think she's really on anybody's radar. She's like in a strong alliance. She's going to be in the end game.
She's going to get evicted at fifth. I'm going to give her fifth.
If Christmas wins, and I literally dreamcasted it from our fucking podcast at the beginning of June, how, like, what happens to our relationship? What happens to the podcast? You know, you're just gonna be mad at me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be pissed.
I am rooting so hard for Christmas just for the in podcast spite between the two of us.
You don't want to see that spite. It's gonna be through the roof, and like it's gonna be tense on the podcast.
You know what? We need something. We need a new angle here. We need a new host. We need like
whoa, well, I do know a new host. She's this fresh face. She's very pretty. Busy Phillips. She's in the run.
From Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah, she hosts.
And Cougar Town.
She's very pretty.
Oh wow! I don't think she's very pretty, and I'm right about that.
We need to get to some questions.
Yes, drop some in the chat if you have any. We'll read through some Twitter ones, and then we'll get through some chat ones.
Yeah, questions and comments, whatever you guys have.
Oh, am I reading them or are you reading them?
Yeah, because should I pick up my phone?
Yeah. Sorry, no, I'm doing it on Twitter. I forgot I was reading the Twitter questions today. I apologize. Sorry, sorry. I forgot it's my job today. Oh, I'm just so used to the woman doing all the work.
Yeah, right.
Refreshing the page. Who's going home? This is from John Howard 23. Who's going home, J or K?
J, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I wish J.K. Simmons was going home, but no. Janelle will be biting the dust this week.
One River Mike sent us a screen cap of like clearly Google messed up, and it's using a screen grab of Memphis in Big Brother, and it says Lucifer season 5 premiere.
Memphis is the devil, but in a fun way, I think.
I had to do a double take as Lucifer and Memphis seem too similar for it to be a mistake.
We love that. Thank you for sending that in.
Question from Jump for Joy. Is BB Slop celiac friendly? I bet you if you said you had celiac, they would concoct a special one for you if it weren't.
That's a great question. Yeah, and just to clarify, celiac is a very intense issue where people genuinely cannot have gluten, whereas other people say they're gluten intolerant or they have a gluten like issue. It's not the same as celiacs where it genuinely will fuck them up.
Yeah.
Just to clarify that for people. I have none of these issues. I love grains.
I bet no matter what your dietary restrictions are, if you make that known to the producers in advance, I'm sure they can make the slop kosher. I'm sure they can make it right.
Yeah. It seems miserable though. People really do not like it. It's making them sick. It's poison this season. I think they should just go back to peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I'm too Jew for you, says.
I love that.
I need your new thoughts on @JC Moonvez's new handle.
So again, the unhinged, the chaotic evil energy that is surrounding JC Moonvez. Like, what is she leaning into here? She's leaning into, like, first of all, JC makes me think of JC from the show.
Oh yeah, someone who I love.
That's bad brand recognition right there. Your Q score is going down based on that name alone, Julie. I just don't know where is her head at? Like, what is going on behind the scenes at CBS right now for her to be doing all this psychotic stuff?
I don't know, but
is that why she said that?
what?
It was like maybe it was like a Devil Wears Prada moment where there's all this talk behind the scenes. Julie's getting too old. She's out of touch. She doesn't have her finger on the pulse anymore. Young viewers need someone fresh.
Yo, Gen Zers love to TikTok with.
She saw the name, the short list, and on the very top of that short list, one Busy Phillips. And her saying that was just her saying to everyone, I know what you're trying to do, and I will not go quietly into that good night. This franchise belongs to me, and it's under the Moonves name. Maybe.
That was powerful shit.
I mean, if that's the case, honestly, fire Julie's ass and get Busy in here. Fuck Julie, I don't care. She's standing by that piece of shit husband of hers. He's a pig.
He is. So someone in the chat, sorry, let me pull it up here, says, Julie KP in the chat says, do you think that Keisha's Twitter account is real? Today's tweet was wild. So
yeah, please read it.
Where
please read it. This is a great question.
This is the Holly one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a minute. So like this new account pops up that claims to be Keisha. And I just had it pulled up. I apologize.
And you have to read it. Give it your best, like, theatrical read, because this really is wild. I mean, it's so hard to say if this is real or not because it's just crazy. I mean, I want it to be real, but it's also
so she's
bizarre.
quote tweeting something like there's like way too much. Oh, so Evil Dick tweets something about Beth. Oh, he's like, Beth needs to stop making drunken videos. She rode the coattails of a racist dude that used her. Oh gosh. Oh no. I don't even want to read all these words.
Don't read anything from him. Like, he's gross. But Keisha's tweet was kind of insane.
So she tweets at Miss Holly Allen 24, Wyoming. Shut the fuck up before I shove my foot up your dumb ass. I was an all-star back when you were blowing guys in cow patties for free. Save your comments to things that you know about. Racist men and plastic surgery. Ooh.
Yeah. What the hell? And she said stuff about
crazy.
Yeah. I mean, is this really her? Because that was not the Keisha we saw on this show. And she also, like, the person who was tweeting for her while she was in the show, I think it might still be that person doing it, because that person also tweeted stuff like #Small Penis Tuesday when Memphis was HOH. Or no, when Memphis was like, when talking about Memphis, I forget why, but like, it was weird. Honestly,
reading that and then reading the Evil Dick tweet right before it, maybe it's just think that like Evil Dick just created anyone can create an account.
It's not verified or anything. I mean, it was just, I read that tweet and I was like, what the hell? This is so off-brand for how she was acting. She really seems like she could not be bothered. Like, she's above all of this.
So, like, but also she tweeted, I'm up on IGTV now, and then tweets out to a link. Like, wouldn't that be to her own? Like, I'm old. I don't know how these apps work. Like, wouldn't that be to her own Instagram channel? Like, if she was doing IG live things?
Yeah, but it's possible that it's like not her running it. It's possible it's like one of her like really mean friends running it.
One of her 4 dogs.
Yeah, well, a very spiteful dog. But wow, great question, and glad that you flagged that. Thank you so much for flagging that to us.
All right. Michael says, what celebrity Big Brother house guest should have been included in this season?
Tamar. I love that she's having a lot of issues. Meta, baby.
Meta is not doing anything. Maybe pull some more attention to the NBA bubble going on.
Hell yeah. Meta would be amazing. We need it. Like, David is chaos, but he's like also so boring to watch. He's like the most boring chaos. He doesn't know what's going on. He's bad. But Meta is like fun chaos. And I also, listen, I wouldn't be mad at a Brandy Glanville. just someone who's like, Brandy would do all the things that I think Janelle at this point might be too classy to do. Like Janelle's really grown. She is straight up just like a mom who wants to wear her Louboutin, go to the lake house, and just be bigger than all of this. Whereas Brandy Glanville is like, fuck it, I'm gonna chug this bottle of wine and call all y'all out. So,
she's like, I'm truly bigger than nothing.
Yeah,
nothing is beneath me.
Yeah, so I think her presence would be very, very much needed in this season. She would just be fun chaos. That's what we're missing. We're missing like Enzo's a little chaotic, but not really. We're missing that like wild card.
Yeah, Enzo's like predictable. He's like chaotic. He's like chaotic good or chaotic neutral, like because he's only going to do stuff to propel. Like you kind of know the ways.
He's in the big group. He doesn't need to make any waves, so he's just like chilling.
Yeah, and him just like saying a funny thing or like wearing a hat in a silly way isn't actually chaotic,
right?
Like,
so
his version of chaos.
Yeah, no, we need someone like Meta who's literally like, this show, I can't just go home now. Like
we need someone who's willing to change their name to Meta World Peace.
Yeah, exactly.
My Tie 5 in the chat says, can you hypothesize how the two of you would do on Big Brother and whether your final two would propel you to the end?
Wow, that's such a great question, and I think about it often. So first, I always think if we were put in the house together and it was supposed to be like a secret, like twosome season, I would immediately say, we're working together. And that means other people in here are working together. So show yourselves, or just even if you don't know that we're the only honest people in this house. That's what I would do.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. I would have pulled my fucking hair out next to you. I would have turned white or red, whatever color I am right now. I would have been so fucking embarrassed.
Night one, I would say, we're
oh my God,
together.
Why would you have done this? We would be a horrible team.
No, because that would force everyone else's hand, and anyone who acted shady and was like, oh, well, like, I get, like, anyone who took any longer than that to admit it, we would know not to trust.
I would have, on the first night, I would have been like, oh, hello, nice. I would have done like what Janelle and Kaysar did in the first night this scene. It'd be like, oh, hey, I haven't seen you in a while or whatever. No, I would have, and then I would have like got you alone and been like, all right, it's the two of us.
No.
Clearly together between us, but no one can know. We have to act. We have to act like
I wouldn't do that.
We have to like
during the champagne toast, I would be saying, cheers, Brett and I know each other. We host a podcast about Big Brother.
So to answer the second part of your question, my tie, how far would our final two propel us? It would propel us to 13th and 14th place, respectively.
No, I think I'd make it to jury. I think I'd have a great social game.
My nightmare is being the first person in jury.
First person, I know. I think I would make it to jury. I don't think I would win, unfortunately. But
people don't like me.
I think people like you. But how would you be on the block? I think you'd get very depressed. I think you would get depressed.
As I responded to your text, you're like, I'm going to be podcasting depressed today. And I just said, I podcast depressed every fucking episode. So
I think you would really take it hard. Whereas if and I think we would both be really bad on the block in separate ways. You would take it really hard and be sad. And I would be like, well, then fine. I'm going to call a house meeting. I would be like, let me blow up everything on my way out. And so like the week would start with them thinking that they're going to kick you out, Brett, but then they would kick me out because I'm just such a pain in the ass.
This is what I would do on the block. So Monday veto meeting happens. It's confirmed I'm on the block. I would sulk and sulk and literally talk to someone for a while. And then on Wednesday night, I would fucking go hard. I would fucking wheel, deal, steal, do all the things. Thank you. Someone said, Ravi in the chat says, my hair is amazing. Thank you, Ravi. I would go super hard. This is what I do in my normal life. Like in my work, in my relationships, and everything I do, something happens and I get super depressed about it. And I want to isolate and do absolutely nothing and sit in a dark room and cry and just put my like the Wolverine meme. Just put my hand on the picture of Busy Phillips. Busy. and then like right before I'd like knock it out, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna power super hard and I'm gonna get this. And I would say, Danielle's a fucking liar. Danielle, the first night, she's a wild card. The first night, we're all champagne toasting, and Danielle's like, I know, Brett.
Oh yeah,
we did improv classes together in New York in 2010.
That's the thing. You know, all these people on the block against each other are all like, oh, don't worry, I wouldn't compete against you. Brett, I would campaign so hard against you. I like the second we're on the block together, I'm like, peace, every man for himself. Fuck, you know, like get the fuck out of here.
A couple more questions and we're gonna wrap it up. Julie says, which casting stereotype do you feel both of us would land in?
Wow, great question.
I have a good answer for you. I don't know about mine. I'll say one for myself, but I don't know if it's like a real stereotype or not.
Okay, I have one for myself.
Yeah.
Okay, you say yours for me first.
You are Bella Wang, like drunk, like B who will like spill the tea.
That's so wrong. That's so wrong. I mean, that's fun though. No, mine was gonna be for myself. I was like, by the time I get cast on this show, I'm gonna be the old fucking mom who everyone's like, oh, thanks for doing the dishes, Danielle. Like everyone's gonna be like, Danielle has like 2 kids by the time I'm there, and she's 40. Like she's like a grandma.
Let's bring Danielle to Final Four, and then we can just get rid of her.
Yes, that's what I think. I'm gonna be like Kale on Danny's first season, like that woman who like. Yeah, literally. And then what's yours? You say yours for you.
I think I would be like smart ass guy.
Yeah. Who I don't even think there is a stereotype for yours.
Like no, they don't, because they'll like for guys, there's not like it's like beefcakey guys.
Yeah,
like
super nerd
guys who are like, yeah, super nerds, which I'm not.
Yeah, you look like the Enzo. Is that what you are?
Yeah, maybe, but even then, like, I mean, I don't remember BB whatever he was on fucking a million years ago. Was that 12 that he was on? Like, I don't even remember what he was like what his stereotype was. I mean, when you're like, but yeah, you can be like the for lack of a appropriate term, like Guido guy who's like, hey, how you doing? Like, which is what he kind of feels like. Sometimes there's like a smart ass guy, like a weird smart ass guy, like Johnny Mac. Like,
mad at me. Don't get mad at me.
What?
Are you like the Cameron?
I mean, yeah, I could be like super fan guy, but even then, Cameron was kind of like the nerdy guy. Like he wasn't like Steve. But he was
a smart ass, wasn't he? I don't remember. Maybe just off the show, he was a smart ass.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they cast Beefcake guy. They cast like 65-year-old dad. They cast cowboy guy. Like, I don't know. And I'm none of those people.
Yeah, like, the last I'm thinking like LA guys. The LA guys they cast are like Paul, and Paul is like such a character.
Yeah, I don't have enough. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't have enough. Yeah, I can't be rocker dude or like alt dude like Austin and Paul kind of fit this like rocker demon guy.
Dude. Yeah, demon guy. I can't believe you think I'm the drunk bitch. This is very enlightening. I like all these questions because they're shedding light on us.
Yeah, more questions about how both of us would interact on the show.
Clearly very badly. At least we're honest.
Final question from Robbie. I'm going to cut it off. Final question. Did you see the Zack Snyder trailer?
Great question. I have not watched it yet. No, but I did see a still of Harley Quinn, my favorite, and she looks great.
No, of course I didn't. And it seems like people are upset online that it looks too similar to the Justice League movie that came out. Of course it is. It's the same fucking movie. They just paid someone to re-edit it a little bit. Like, it's not like they fucking shot one movie and stopped and restarted and shot another. I mean, they kind of did, but like, it's not going to be that different. Do people know the difference between like cuts of movies? Like, it's not going to be very different than the shitty ass movie that came out. I started watching the Justice League movie on a plane somewhere, and the opening shot of that movie is a vertical cell phone video of Superman with a fake not mustache on, and some kids like, "Hey, this is Superman," and whatever. And I'm like, this is the worst fucking movie I've ever seen. And I got like 12 minutes in that movie and I turned it off. And you know what I'm not watching? Another version of the same fucking movie.
Yeah, that's fair. Although that's all we're gonna get because movie sets aren't gonna open any like for long. So just get ready for like different iterations of the same. A lot of director cuts are gonna come our way with all the shitty footage that wasn't good enough for the first viewing. But they're like, well, we need to make money. Edit it together again.
While we're on the subject, 2 questions for you. Are you seeing Mulan on Disney?
Yes, I will watch Mulan. Yes.
You're gonna pay, so you pay for Disney Plus and then pay $30.
Disney Plus for free.
Oh, well, you have Verizon. Shout out to Verizon right now.
Yeah.
I love Verizon.
I do love it. Honestly, I've enjoyed having Disney Plus, if only for Baby Yoda.
Second question, 2 parts. Would you see Tenet in a movie theater this summer?
No, hell no.
Okay, second question. How much would you pay to rent Tenet on Amazon, Apple, whatever?
I'll wait till it's streaming for free on Netflix, baby. Fuck that movie. I don't need to see. I remember. Oh God, we're going so long. But I remember living in LA.
Good shit. We only talked about Busy Philip for 45 minutes.
Living in LA for a couple months, and Brett was in LA at the time too. And we were like trying to like hang out, or we were chatting about something. And you were like, I have to go see Interstellar at the Cinemark or whatever.
The Cinerama Dome, of course.
Cinerama. You were like, yeah, I have to go do that at like 9 a.m. tomorrow. And I was like, wow, he really loves Christopher Nolan movies. And then I saw Interstellar and I was like, that movie sucked. It was so boring. And so it was Tenet. Tenet's going to be boring as hell too.
My favorite movie genre is movies in which male middle-aged actors go into space and stare out of a window and cry.
And what's the other one? What's the other Christopher Nolan movie? The one that made bomb? Inception.
Yeah.
That also.
That was pretty good.
Not very boring.
Pretty good.
Actually, Interstellar was better than Inception.
Whoa, hot takes there.
Damn. I loved it. Like Matthew McConaughey crying, I'll take that. As opposed to Leonardo DiCaprio explaining something that I do not understand. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. This was a juicy podcast despite our depression.
Both of us started this podcast and like legitimately depressed. I like smashed an iced coffee and I'm like, I don't even know if this is going to help me like talk about Big Brother, which I legitimately haven't. I haven't really been watching the feeds because I know what's going on.
And true to Brett's stereotype of me, I was drinking a blueberry margarita. So
it's late. It's 9. It's 9 o'clock your time. It's early. I have plenty of time to get drunk tonight.
Yeah.
But I feel much better talking to you about this now. We're in this together. Julie once a week is going to say at least one thing so fucking bonkers that it's going to carry us through the season. I can't wait to see what it is next week. Ian, I just wanted to compliment you. You look like Bill Nye today. The very pretty actress.
Oh, I can't wait. I mean, what rabbit is Julie going to pull out of this hat next? We don't know. But, that's why there's a reason this podcast is called Hey Julie. Guys, thank you so much for listening, for being in the chat, in the comments. We love it. It's so funny and fun.
The chat was lit tonight. Really good job by everyone.
Yeah. And tweet at us, Hey Julie BB. We're going to record again probably Monday night after Sunday's episode.
Yeah, so much juicy stuff.
So much juicy stuff. And like, it ain't over till it's over. Let's see if Janelle and Kaysar blow up the house. They're both getting a little fed up with playing nice, I think. So maybe we'll get some good feeds.
we're gonna start seeing what happens when people stop acting nice and start acting real.
Exactly. And I can't wait. Bye, Julie.
Hi, Julie.